You know what's in your freezer right now that could be aging you faster than you realize. I'm about to disclose the 4 frozen meals that are silently destroying your health after the age of 60, as well as 4 game-changing solutions that could literally extend your life. And believe me, number 3 on the never touch list is undoubtedly sitting in your freezer right now, and it may surprise you. Welcome back, my friends. I'm Dr. Jason Hale, and I'm here with another episode aimed at helping you not only survive, but thrive after 60. For those new to our group, I've spent over 30 years in medicine, watching patients struggle with nutrition advice that wasn't appropriate for their changing bodies. That's why I'm so passionate about cutting through the confusion in nutrition and providing you with practical, science-backed advice that works for mature adults like us. I've been investigating nutrition for adults over 60 for more than a decade, and I've discovered that the majority of dietary advice is intended for 30-year-olds. However, our bodies and needs have changed, and what worked for us in our 30s and 40s may now work against us. Here's what I promise you'll receive in the next 30 minutes. Before we begin, I'd want to know where you're joining me today. Please leave a remark and feel free to ask any questions you have. Don't forget to subscribe and enable notifications so you don't miss out on the best health ideas. First, I'll show you 4 frozen meals that are literally fighting against your body's demands after 60, and why your metabolism can't handle them as it used to. Then I'll tell you about the 4 frozen superfoods that are ideal for your shifting nutritional demands, as well as how to incorporate them into your daily routine without the need for sophisticated meal planning. But here's the deal. This isn't only about avoiding terrible things. I'll show you how making these simple changes can help you maintain muscle mass, enhance brain health, increase energy, improve sleep quality, and even feel more secure in your own skin. We'll also discuss portion proportions, scheduling, and meal options that will satisfy your taste senses. Sounds good? Let's get started, and I promise you'll come away with actionable information you can use right away. Before we get started on the lists, let's have an honest discussion about why frozen foods are more vital to get after 60 than at any other time in your life. This foundation is critical because once you grasp why, the what becomes much more obvious. Your body is changing in ways that most people don't discuss, and many doctors don't even mention at routine checkups. Since your 20s, your metabolism has slowed by roughly 2 to 3% per decade, which means you're burning fewer calories merely to exist. But here's what actually matters. Your calorie demands are falling while your nutritional requirements are growing. It's like attempting to get more groceries into a smaller shopping cart. As you age, your stomach generates less acid, making it more difficult to absorb essential minerals such as vitamin B12, iron, and calcium. Your sense of taste and smell normally declines, which can lead to either overeating in search of fulfillment or undereating because food no longer appears pleasant. Beyond age 30, your muscle mass declines at a rate of 3 to 8% every decade, which accelerates significantly beyond 60. It's not just about looking good. Muscle mass has a direct impact on your metabolism, bone health, balance, and general independence as you age. But here's some genuinely excellent news that you should hear. Frozen foods can be your hidden weapon in this new stage of life. When picked right, they are frequently more nutritious than fresh foods that have been lying in your fridge for a week, losing vitamins and minerals with each passing day. They're wonderfully convenient when cooking feels overwhelming, they significantly reduce food waste, and they can help you keep consistent nutrition even when life becomes hectic, or you don't feel like preparing complex meals. The key is to know which to choose and which to avoid like the plague, because the frozen food industry has not been nice to older individuals' nutritional demands. Most frozen meals are created for younger metabolisms and entirely overlook the specific needs of bodies over 60. They're frequently heavy in sodium, low in protein, full of inflammatory chemicals, and rich in empty calories, all of which work against what your body is attempting to accomplish. The 4 worst frozen foods. Let's start with the major one, which I know will hurt a little. Frozen pizza. I fully get the appeal. It's convenient, tastes nice, and feels like comfort food, making it the ideal answer when you're tired or don't want to cook. But I need to tell you what happens to your body when you consume frozen pizza after 60, and why it's working against everything you want to accomplish. First, let us discuss the sodium content, which is absolutely tremendous. Most frozen pizzas contain 700 to 1200 milligrams of sodium per dish. And let's be honest, who among us consumes only one serving? I've never encountered someone who slices a pizza into 4 pieces and saves 3 for later. After 60, your kidneys become less efficient at processing extra sodium, resulting in greater blood pressure, an increased risk of stroke, water retention that causes you to feel bloated and uncomfortable, and a significant load on your cardiovascular system, which is already working harder than it used to. Second, the processed carbs in the crust generate large blood sugar spikes, which affect you differently today than when you were younger. Because your insulin sensitivity deteriorates with age, these surges are more intense and prolonged. This causes afternoon energy dumps that leave you feeling fuzzy and exhausted, increased inflammation throughout your body, and, over time, a dramatically increased chance of developing type 2 diabetes. Third, the processed meats commonly found on frozen pizzas, such as pepperoni, sausage, and ham, contain nitrates, preservatives, and low-quality components. These substances have been linked to an increase in cancer risk, and here's the catch. Your body's natural ability to eliminate these toxins declines with age, allowing them to stay in your system longer and do more damage. But here's the real kicker that most people don't realize. Frozen pizza contains almost no protein compared to its high-calorie level. After 60, you require more protein than ever before to retain muscle mass and boost your immune system. But frozen pizza contains empty calories that work against muscle preservation. You might have 800 calories of pizza and only receive 15 to 20 grams of protein, whereas you should obtain at least 25-30 grams per meal. Frozen pizza generally contains inflammatory omega-6 oils which lead to joint pain and inflammation. If you've been wondering why your knees and hips have been hurting more recently, it's possible that your frozen pizza habit is to blame. Frozen breakfast pastries, Pop-Tarts, toaster strudels, and frozen waffles dripping with processed breakfast burritos. These may appear to be quick breakfast options when you're in a hurry or simply don't want to cook, but they're total nutrition catastrophes for anyone over 60, and I'll explain why. These items are essentially sugar bombs wrapped in refined flour and sold as morning food. A normal dish has 15-25 grams of sugar, which is dangerously close to the daily suggested limit before you've even had lunch. However, as you reach the age of 60, your body's capacity to manage blood sugar is severely impaired, making these early sugar rushes very dangerous and harmful. Trans fats found in many frozen pastries are another important concern that must be addressed front-on. While many industries have reduced trans fats in recent years, they are frequently replaced with alternative inflammatory oils such as palm oil or partly hydrogenated soybean oil, which can raise your risk of heart disease, contribute to cognitive decline, and aggravate arthritic symptoms. Most people are unaware of this, and when I discovered it, it changed everything for me. Eating high-sugar, high-carb breakfasts after 60 can actually increase your hunger throughout the day. This happens because the blood sugar roller coaster alters your appetite hormones, notably leptin and ghrelin, resulting in increased desires, overeating, and abdominal fat. And abdominal fat beyond 60 is more than just a cosmetic concern. It's especially harmful because it surrounds your key organs and causes inflammation throughout your body. Furthermore, these meals give almost little nutritious benefit at a time when your body needs more nutrients than ever before. After 60, your calorie requirements decrease, but your nutrient requirements increase, particularly for protein, calcium, vitamin D, and B vitamins. Even if you eat enough of calories, wasting those calories on empty carbs and sugar is a formula for malnutrition. These goods' artificial tastes, colors, and preservatives may also disrupt your sleep habits. Many individuals over 60 already battle with sleep problems, and eating these chemical-laden meals, especially in the morning, can disrupt your circadian cycles and make it much more difficult to achieve the restful sleep your body requires. Frozen fried dishes rank third on our list of worst foods. Frozen chicken nuggets, fish sticks, fries, onion rings, and mozzarella sticks. These are the frozen items you might have in your freezer right now, and they're especially dangerous after 60 for reasons other than being bad. When you fry and then freeze items, you create a perfect storm of inflammation. The oils used in commercial frying are frequently rancid by the time they reach your freezer, having been heated to high temperatures several times. When you reheat these items in the oven or microwave, you produce even more inflammatory substances known as advanced glycation end products, or AGEs, which accelerate the aging process in your body. Your body's natural anti-inflammatory defenses deteriorate dramatically with age, so these foods do more damage in your system than they would in a younger person. This inflammation not only causes joint pain and stiffness, but it also impairs brain function, resulting in a foggy sensation, memory problems, and an increased risk of chronic diseases such as heart disease and diabetes. The breading on frozen fried dishes is usually created with refined flour, added sugars, artificial flavors, and preservatives. This combo raises your blood sugar without offering any useful nutrients. For people over 60, this is like throwing gasoline on the fire of metabolic decline, making it much more difficult for their bodies to maintain stable energy levels and a healthy weight. But, probably most crucially for persons our age, these foods are high in calories and low in satiety. You might easily consume 500 to 800 calories of frozen fried dishes without feeling full or nourished, resulting in overeating and undesired weight gain. And if you're over 60, shedding excess weight becomes much more difficult owing to hormonal changes and decreasing muscle mass. The salt content of these foods is also extremely high, with 400–800 milligrammes per serving, which can easily exceed your daily sodium limit and contribute to high blood pressure and cardiovascular diseases. 4. Frozen desserts and ice cream. Now, I'm not talking about the occasional treat or birthday celebration. I'm talking about the regular consumption of frozen desserts that many people over 60 indulge in because they're convenient, comforting, and, to be honest, eating something sweet can feel like one of the few pleasures left when everything else hurts or feels difficult. Commercial frozen desserts contain high levels of added sugars, artificial flavors, stabilizers, and emulsifiers, all of which can adversely disturb your gut microbiota. After 60, your digestive system becomes more sensitive and less resilient, and these artificial additives can induce bloating, gas, irregular bowel movements, mood swings, and cognitive fog. The sugar level of frozen desserts is especially troublesome for older persons. A single serving of premium ice cream can contain 20–30 grams of sugar, but the most worrying fact is that this is only the portion size listed on the carton. Most of us eat significantly more in a single sitting. This amount of sugar produces widespread inflammation throughout your body, adds to insulin resistance, and has been related to cognitive decline and a higher risk of dementia. Many frozen desserts include significant levels of saturated fat from low-quality sources such as palm oil and processed dairy. While some saturated fat is totally normal and even healthy, the varieties found in commercial frozen desserts can cause arterial stiffness, elevated cholesterol levels, and cardiovascular issues. Here's the true issue that I see hurting so many individuals my age. Frozen sweets cause significant desires for other sweet foods. After the age of 60, your taste buds become less sensitive, requiring increasingly large amounts of sugar to achieve the same level of satisfaction as lesser amounts. This sets off a vicious cycle in which you need increasingly sweet items to feel content, resulting in chronic sugar overconsumption and an ongoing battle with cravings. Many frozen desserts contain artificial additives, which can interfere with your sleep quality. Poor sleep after 60 is already a huge worry, but eating these chemical-laden desserts, particularly in the evening, might make it much more difficult to achieve the deep, restful sleep your body requires to heal and replenish. Before you believe I'm attempting to take away your freezer's delight and convenience, let me share some truly great news with you. There are 4 frozen meals that are not only safe for adults over 60, but also nutritional powerhouses that can help you feel better, look younger, have more energy, and, yes, even live longer. These foods are specifically useful to the unique needs of mature people, yet they are just as convenient as the foods I just advised you to avoid. In fact, some of these may surprise you with how tasty and filling they can be. Clients have told me that after they started eating these items on a daily basis, they no longer craved the bad options. What is the best part? These nutrients cooperate with your changing body, not against it. They boost your metabolism, help you maintain muscle strength, reduce inflammation, and supply nutrients that are increasingly crucial as we age. They're also extremely versatile, affordable, and ideal for meal planning. I'll explain not just what these foods are, but also how to select the finest selections, cook them for optimal nutrition and flavor, and incorporate them into your routine in a way that feels natural and pleasurable, rather than like another chore or limitation. The first item on my checklist is frozen wild-caught fish. This is the #1 frozen product that everyone over 60 should keep in their freezer, and I'll explain why it could be the single most important nutritional improvement you make this year. Wild-caught salmon, sardines, mackerel, anchovies, and other fatty fish are flash frozen at their peak freshness, often within hours of being caught, making them far more nutritious than fresh fish that has been hanging around for days or even weeks before reaching your grocery store. These fish include omega-3 fatty acids, which are essential for brain and heart health, as well as inflammation reduction. 3 places where persons over 60 require the most assistance. According to studies, regular omega-3 consumption can cut your chance of cognitive decline by up to 30%, lower your risk of heart disease by 25%, and considerably reduce inflammatory indicators in your bloodstream. But here's why frozen seafood is even better for our lifestyle. It's quite convenient and foolproof. In 15-20 minutes, you can transform frozen solids into precisely cooked, restaurant-quality meals. There is no planning ahead, no concern about spoiling, no stress about whether the fish is still edible, and no compromise on nutrition. Fish protein is especially excellent for maintaining and even increasing muscle mass after 60. It is easily digestible, has all of the necessary amino acids your body requires for muscle protein synthesis, and does not strain your kidneys like some other protein sources can. One serving contains around 20 to 25 grams of high-quality complete protein. Fish also include vitamin D, which becomes more necessary as we age because our skin becomes less efficient at making it from sunshine. Vitamin D promotes bone health, immunological function, and mood management. Here's a great tip that will transform your fish-eating strategy. Purchase separate frozen pieces so you may take out only what you need without thawing the entire package. Look for fish that has been flash frozen on the boat to ensure maximum freshness and nutrition. When feasible, wild-caught fish is preferable than farmed fish, since it contains more omega-3 fatty acids and less pollutants. You can cook frozen fish right from frozen. No thawing is necessary. Simply add 5 to 10 minutes to your cooking time. Season with herbs, lemon, and a little olive oil for a lunch that would cost $30 in a restaurant. Number 2. Frozen berries. This may surprise you, but frozen berries are often more nutritious than fresh berries, and they are an amazing superfood for adults over 60. Here's why you should make this a daily fixture in your diet. Frozen berries are selected at peak ripeness, when their antioxidant content is highest, and then flash frozen within hours to retain all of their beneficial properties. Fresh berries, on the other hand, are frequently harvested before they are fully ripe to ensure their survival during transportation, and they lose nutrients on a daily basis. They are stored in trucks, warehouse, and your refrigerator. Berry antioxidants are especially important after 60 because they help protect your brain from age-related decline, support your immune system, which naturally weakens with age, and combat the chronic low-grade inflammation that contributes to the majority of age-related diseases, such as arthritis, heart disease, and even cancer. Blueberries, in particular, have been dubbed brain berries because they have been demonstrated in numerous studies to increase memory and cognitive performance in persons over 60. Just 1 cup of frozen blueberries has more antioxidants than most individuals consume in a single day from all other foods combined. Strawberries contain more vitamin C than oranges, which is important for immunological function and collagen formation. As we age, our collagen production naturally declines, resulting in joint stiffness and skin abnormalities. Obtaining vitamin C from natural sources becomes increasingly vital. The fiber in berries is also important for digestive health, which gets increasingly difficult as we age. Soluble fiber helps balance blood sugar and cholesterol levels, whereas insoluble fiber keeps your digestive system functioning smoothly and nourishes the good bacteria in your stomach. Here's how to use them so you'll actually look forward to eating them. Blend frozen berries directly into smoothies for instant thickness and natural sweetness. Mix them into oatmeal or yogurt. They will immediately thaw and make their own natural syrup. You can also defrost them and use them as a natural sweetener in homemade recipes, or eat them frozen as a refreshing snack to satisfy your sweet tooth. Berries' natural sugars are balanced by fiber and water, so they do not produce blood sugar spikes like added sugars. This makes them ideal for diabetics or those looking to maintain consistent energy levels throughout the day. Buy a variety of berries, such as blueberries, strawberries, raspberries, and blackberries, and rotate them for various flavors and somewhat different nutritional profiles. Berries are on the dirty dozen list of fruit with the highest pesticide levels, so buying organic is preferable if your budget allows. This may sound apparent, but most people over 60 do not consume nearly enough veggies, and frozen vegetables make it exceedingly simple to acquire your recommended servings without wasting food, requiring excessive preparation time, or worrying about spoilage. Frozen veggies are collected at their peak nutritional value and flash frozen immediately, making them often more nutritious than fresh vegetables that have been sitting in your refrigerator for a week, gradually losing vitamins and minerals. They keep the vitamins, minerals, fiber, and essential plant chemicals. The secret is to select the proper frozen vegetables and understand how to prepare them so they truly taste nice. Look for products with a single ingredient and no additional sauces, sodium, or preservatives. The ingredient list should just mention broccoli or spinach, nothing extra. Cruciferous vegetables like broccoli, cauliflower, and Brussels sprouts are the greatest options for persons over 60 since they contain sulforaphane, a chemical that aids in the body's natural detoxifying process. As we age, these mechanisms become less efficient, making eating more crucial. Leafy greens, such as spinach and kale, contain folate, which is necessary for brain function but gets difficult to absorb after the age of 60. They also include nitrates, which promote cardiovascular health and can boost workout performance and energy levels. Mixed vegetable medleys are convenient and provide a variety of nutrients. Look for vegetable mixes with a variety of colors. The more hues you have, the more different your antioxidants will be. Fiber in vegetables promotes healthy gut bacteria, which is essential for immune function, mood management, and overall health. After 60, your gut flora naturally gets less diverse. Therefore, consuming a variety of veggies helps to preserve this diversity and promotes overall health. Here's how to make frozen vegetables taste great. Do not overcook them. Most frozen vegetables require only 3 to 5 minutes of cooking time. Mix them into soups, stews, and stir-fries. Roast them with olive oil and herbs to make a crispy, delicious side dish. Blend them into a smoothie. You will not taste mild vegetables like spinach, but you will receive all of the nutrients. Steam them with a little butter, lemon juice, and herbs. Sauté them with garlic and olive oil. Mix them into egg dishes like omelets and frittatas. The idea is to regard them as elements to improve meals, rather than as boring side dishes to be endured. 4. Frozen bone broth may be the most underappreciated frozen food for individuals over 60, and once you learn the benefits, you'll wonder why more people aren't talking about this nutritional powerhouse. High-quality frozen bone broth contains collagen, amino acids, minerals, and therapeutic chemicals that promote joint health, skin health, digestive health, and general vitality, all of which require increased support as we age. Bone broth contains collagen, which serves as the foundation for maintaining healthy joints, skin suppleness, and connective tissues throughout the body. After age 20, your body's natural collagen production falls by roughly 1% per year, so by the time you're 60, you're making much less than you did when you were younger. Dietary supplementation becomes increasingly crucial in sustaining mobility and comfort. The amino acids in bone broth, particularly glycine, proline, and hydroxyproline, aid in muscle maintenance and rehabilitation. This is especially important for persons over 60 who want to retain muscle mass and strength. Glycine also promotes better sleep and can lower inflammation throughout the body. Bone broth is extremely easy to digest, making it ideal for persons who have sensitive stomachs, digestive disorders, or are recovering from an illness. It can help mend and seal the gut lining, which frequently becomes more permeable with age, resulting in food sensitivities and immune system issues. The minerals in bone broth, calcium, magnesium, phosphorus, and others, are readily absorbed by your body. This is especially significant because nutrition absorption becomes less efficient with age. Look for bone broth that has been cooked for at least 24 hours using grass-fed, pasture-raised bones. Many companies now sell high-quality frozen bone broth that may be stored in the freezer and used as needed. It should gel when cold, indicating high collagen content. Bone broth can be used as a soup and stew foundation, a nourishing snack between meals, or to cook rice and quinoa for extra nutrition and flavor. Personally, I start many days with a warm cup of bone broth seasoned with sea salt and herbs. It's like a warm hug for your digestive tract. Now that you know what to avoid and what to embrace, here are some practical, realistic recommendations for making these adjustments without feeling overwhelmed or deprived. Begin by conducting a mild freezer audit. Go through your freezer and figure out which things you should never touch. If it feels wasteful to toss them away right away, don't do so. Maybe complete what you have, but make a promise not to replace them after they are gone. If you're feeling inspired, consider donating unopened items to a food bank. Next, gradually incorporate the healthful frozen foods into your usual shopping list. Begin with simply 1 or 2 items and progress from there. For example, you may begin by include frozen wild-caught fish and frozen berries on your next grocery trip. Once those become routine, incorporate frozen vegetables, and so forth. Make simple meal templates that include these ingredients so you don't have to think about it every time. Salmon with roasted frozen vegetables and berries, for example, is a delicious, nutritious meal that takes only 20 minutes to prepare and meets all of your body's needs. When you have the energy, batch cook. Cook many pieces of frozen fish at once and use them throughout the week in salads, soups, and with other veggies. Make a large pot of soup with bone broth and frozen vegetables that will last for several meals. Keep things simple, especially at start. Frozen berries and yogurt, a chunk of fish, and steamed veggies. Bone broth served as an afternoon snack. These don't require any difficult recipes or unique talents. Remember that this is about growth, not perfection. Every small shift you make takes you in the correct direction. Your body will appreciate you for these changes, and you should experience higher energy, better sleep, improved digestion, and a general sense of well-being within a few weeks. Listen, my friend, I understand that changing your dietary habits might be stressful, especially when you've been doing things the same way for years, and it appears like every expert has different advice. But this is the reality that I want you to hear. Your body has different demands beyond 60 than it had when you were younger. And changing your eating choices to match these needs is one of the most powerful, caring things you can do for yourself in the future. By avoiding the 4 frozen food categories and embracing the 4 healthy ones, you are not just eating better. You are actively investing in your brain health, muscle mass, immune system, and overall well-being. You've decided to age with vigor and energy rather than simply accepting deterioration as inevitable. These adjustments do not need to be spectacular or abrupt. Small, regular improvements accumulate over time, much like interest in a savings account. Every positive decision you make is an investment in feeling better tomorrow, next week, and next year. If this video has changed your perspective on frozen foods, here's what I recommend. Subscribe by hitting the thumbs up button as if it were a daily vitamin. I promise our content is more addictive than the frozen sweets we talked about avoiding, but with far less adverse effects. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time.